And we are live.
We are live.
Yep.
Gonna talk about dad.
Son's out of bed. Hi, I'm Vanilla Bear, and I have a guest with me. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Irate Protate, and I'm excited to be here to kind of talk about this stuff. It's this is kind of a weird subject for the skeptic community. I'm excited to be here to kind of talk about this.
That's it. Turn the volume down and on the other one. You still there?
Yeah.
Ah. So, what have been your experiences with the paranormal?
Well, it's like we were talking about earlier. I come from the area of, I have to qualify myself as the beliefs because, we're going to get into areas where people are highly critical of, of things. The human eye, nobody knew that the human eye wasn't perceiving the entire spectrum until a certain point in time when we discovered that there were, there was ultraviolet light. There was, there was also the infrared, the infraspectrum, and then of course, then we get into X-rays and the radioactive stuff. So the human brain, I don't think, can articulate everything that we experience, and my mind is pretty much, I always prided myself on my open-mindedness, except for when I was an atheist, and that was always an interesting thing because now I qualify as an agnostic because I have to be intellectually honest with myself because I really don't have proof either way. Yeah. I can't say for sure that there is no God or that there is a God. I can't say for sure there is life after death or there isn't. I don't know. So I have to talk in feelings on this stuff at this point in time because we don't have any kind of articulation. We don't have any, way to detect, fully any of these, any of this stuff. I don't think, it all comes across to me as feelings. What about you?
Like you, I don't believe in God. To me, if there was a God, he wouldn't take the precious ones. He would take the nasty ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I've not really thought about it. But to me, I don't believe in God.
I hear you. So, we had talked about earlier about personal experiences with the paranormal. It's like, you want me to go first and talk about some of the stuff we had talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. I think one of the first experiences that I had when I realized that there was some other, way to communicate than, like what we're doing right now is my grandmother was she was in just extreme state of dementia. And I really did not like to go see her at the, at the old folks home. And she died when she died, she was like 97 years old. Yeah, she was pretty old. But she had been long in a vegetative state. And I apologize if you heard that, but I tried to mute that. But yeah, she had been kind of in a vegetative state. But when I went to visit her, I finally visited her in the old folks home. And when I did, I experienced her recognizing me, even though she was kind of balled up in a fetal position like a child. But she looked at me, and I felt her recognize me and say hello. It was weird. It was the weirdest thing. I can't describe it because it's so odd. It's like we exchanged, like hello and I love you. But it wasn't words, it was just purely emotional. It was an emotional experience. And that touched me deeply, you know, and that was when I was really in my hardcore, you know, anti-theistic, you know, very, you know, if you wanted to talk about any kind of spirituality stuff, you know, it's like I was just like, you know, I prided myself on being able to, you know, do what I call, you know, slice and dice and shred people, you know, that had any kind of beliefs, because I thought they were, you know, stupid idiots, you know, and that experience, you know, kind of opened my mind a little bit to the possibility of, you know, there being more to the human, you know, way of communicating, or, you know, the way that we experience each other than just, you know, you know, the five senses. You know, I think that there was something more than that, right? And then, you know, after this is a couple, 5 or 6, 7 years later, you know, I got married, and, you know, got really tight with her grandfather. He was like an awesome guy, man. They tried to make him quit smoking, and we had to babysit him one time. And he said, I need to go to the store to get some sugar. And so we took him to the store, and just to give you an idea of the kind of personality he had, I love this guy. We went to go get him some sugar, right? And we took him to the store, and he just disappears. So we grab the sugar, and finally we catch up with him, and he's getting a carton of cigarettes up at the cigarette, you know, at the tobacco part of the store. And, you know, we figured out, you know, he had duped us into, you know, going to do that, right? So when we get home, we open the door to put the sugar in, and there's like 7 bags of sugar in there. So he had like tricked his other babysitters, you know, he had pulled that kind of shit. So he had a wonderful little personality. And so, you know, when he was dying, his kidneys had shut down, and he was just laying there breathing. And I was, you know, touching his hand, and I was just talking to him, you know. You know, I don't know if he could hear me or not or anything, but I told him I loved him and stuff. And then I just saw him stop breathing. And then right about a second or two right after that, I felt I haven't never had this experience since then. Okay. Yeah. I experienced something like this peaceful, it was this incredible peace that just kind of touched me. I could feel like it was like a wave, and it just hit me. And I was in this just peaceful state, and I haven't experienced it since, but it was just, I can feel it right now, right as I'm talking about it. I can feel it. It's just like it happened right 5 minutes ago. Were you going to say something?
No, I'm just listening, because what you explained there, we do get a little bit of it when we sat with, you know, the residents at the care home. It's just like a peaceful silence, and I don't know, it just seems like everything's like lifted off.
Yeah, did it ever touch you in your heart in a weird way? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Why do you talk about what that's like? Because I don't think people know what it's like working in, you know, in a, you know, we call it the old folks home here, or we call, you know, the assisted living facility is
it's
the
really rewarding, you know, because some cases I can't, you know, mention, but
right, specifics.
Yeah. There is some sad cases, and there is some like good cases. They come in, you know, we give them their independence, you know, we build up a relationship with them, even though we're not supposed to get attached, but you can't help it, because
sure,
who doesn't get attached to anybody? It's, you know, it's life. We've had giggles, I've been punched, I've been slapped, I've been kicked, you know, and I laugh it off. You know, in their mind, they don't mean it, but even though in that concept of with the brain breaking down and putting them back to being like children-like again,
yeah,
it does kick you in the teeth, because it's like any illness, watching someone deteriorate slowly, it is heartbreaking.
Yeah. And that kind of, you know, that kind of reminded me of something, because an observation, I can't remember who made it first, but it's like, I agree with it. It's interesting how nature, you know, takes us out the same way we went in, you know, we come in, you know, where, you know, we're almost in an infantile state, you know, when we, you know, if we live that long, you know, to get to that point. So, you know, maybe it is a kindness that nature does us, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I believe that if there is something after this, I don't think it's conscious, like what we're thinking right now. I think it's more of it would be probably more of a feeling experience, you know. You know, maybe we're all part of this energy, and you know, and when we pass, you know, that energy, you know, goes back to where it was. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, and see, from my experience of going into, you know, especially the Alzheimer's ward, why don't you talk about how that is, man? Because it's like people don't understand how. When I went and visited, you know, that aunt that was in the Alzheimer's ward, I mean, it terrified me. I'll be honest with you.
It can be terrifying at first because you're walking into the unknown. You think that, you know, I think it's more fear of not seeing them how you remember them.
Right.
Than, you know, looking at them and it's basically just a skeleton of them. They're just.
Right.
It's like you're looking at their outer body, not as what they were before.
Mm-hmm. The idea of being trapped in, you know, my body and not, you know, remembering, you know, what happened 5 minutes ago, or, you know, or what day it was, or who you were, you know, or, you know, who my friends were, or who that person that's taking care of me is, you know, to forget that stuff and then remember it. And then, you know, that would be, I just can't imagine what kind of experience that would be. You know, that just sounds so, it does sound unkind, doesn't it? It sounds a bit cruel.
Yeah, you can see the frustration in the face because they want to remember you, but you can see that they're like trying to remember, and it is hard for them.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that like the early stages of dementia.
Yeah.
They can remember your face but not your name, but they'll still say hi to you and still come over to you and give you, you know, a hug, and, you know, you can have a laugh with them, and you can ask them, like, because I've got one resident, she used to, well, I've got two of them that used to be nurses.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say things to them, if they're, you know, being buggers and won't let me dress them or wash them, I will say to them, you know, do you want chill on your kidneys? And next minute, arms are up and they're wanting me to wash them. So it's going back to then that they can remember them years ago to what they can remember now.
Yeah, that's I just, you know, my hat's off to you, you know, because that's probably one of the toughest jobs. And, you know, it's interesting in the United States, you know, difficult jobs like that, they don't get paid what they need to be. You know,
No.
teaching that, you know, caretaking jobs, like, you know, working with in assisted living facilities, man, you know, they don't pay shit. You know, I worked, you know, as a drug counselor, and you know, I didn't get paid shit for that. You know, it's just interesting because I had a guy one time I worked with, and he made 4 times as much as what I made, and he, you know, worked on automobiles, you know, on the electrical systems of automobiles. And I said, man, should I work on the electrical systems of people, you know? Yeah. And I don't get paid shit. It just always, you know, annoyed me that, I don't know, people aren't, you know, valued, because, you know, it's like, if it, you know, when it's taking care of their people, you know, they get like, you know, well, you need to do this and this and that, you know, it's like, well, you know, pay me.
Yeah, you do work all the hours, and it's at the end it doesn't really show on your pay slip.
This weird life we have, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of experiences have you had?
I've heard when I used to live at my old house, which is just around the corner from me. You know, as a kid, you muck about with your brothers, and you know, have toy fights. And I remember me and my brother stopping, looking into the corner of the room, and we heard, clear as anything, "You pair, shut up." And it was a woman's voice.
Oh, wow.
And I looked at my dad and I went, "Did you just hear that voice?" And he went, "What do you mean you heard a voice?" And I said, "Someone's just told me and my brother to shut up." And ever since then, it's just been like, I still think about it now because I can still hear it clear as anything.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that movie, the what is it, Conjuring 2. That's the story about that house in Great Britain. See, what's interesting is in you know, in Great Britain, see, you've got a history that goes back, you know, thousands of years. In the United States, you know, our histories, you know, our houses and stuff, they're not as, you know, rooted in this old, you know, because we had, you know, Native Americans and stuff, you know, living in, you know, in not, you know, in specific areas, whereas, you know, you guys have got places where people have been living there for hundreds and, you know, up to 1,000 years. So, you know, that's a lot of energy, you know, that's expended there. That's cool. And I bet that scared the hell out of y'all too.
Yeah, where I live, it used to be just like fields and forests and like old farm areas, so it's still a bit eerie at night because it's a bit creepy.
Yeah.
You know, to walk through. It's like we've got near to me, we've got the old monk tunnels as well.
Right.
And like, we've got a church that was moved by the devil because it was facing the wrong way.
Weird. Tell me about that.
It's a church that's not far from us, and what was it there about the church? It got turned into because the door was facing the wrong way, so the devil picked it up and moved it. But there is, I'll have to send you the link about the church.
So is it like one day the door was on one side of the building, and then and then the next day it was like the building looked like it had just completely turned a 180 or something?
Yeah.
Like that? Wow. That's weird.
And the funny thing is, I was christened at the church, and both of my children have been christened at the church, so maybe that's why I'm a bit of a devil.
Well, you know, it's like that's wild. Yeah, please send me that link. I'd love to read that. Maybe even put it on the you know, when you do the description of this thing, you know, put it on there for the folks to check it out.
I will do. I've been on a ghost hunt.
You've been on what?
On a ghost hunt.
Oh wow, what was that like?
It was all right, other than because it was on Halloween night, everything stopped at midnight.
Yeah.
So all the normal stopped, but I did the Ouija board, but I wasn't sure to do it because, you know, it's having someone there to basically shut the door so nothing comes out to follow you, and you know, because you hear all these stories.
Yeah.
And
See, every time I messed with those things, that was me pushing the thing around. So I was, I would, yeah, I don't know. I didn't do it. I must have not done them right or whatever. But it was like I did that to scare my sister and her friends and stuff.
yeah, it was really strange doing the Ouija board because
Yeah.
I thought, right, I'll have a go because I'll kick myself if I don't do it. And it was every time I like hovered my finger over, you know, the triangle you have.
Right.
It kept moving, and every time I took my finger off, it would stop. And I got very, very emotional doing it because the woman lost a set of twins and they come through. And I could give it the start of the name of one of the children. And I said, I felt lost. I'm looking for a mother. That's what I got through it. And she was crying. She said it was her son, Oliver, that she lost when he was born.
Wow.
And it was with a well-known medium called Barry John that does all his like mediumship over here.
Right.
And he's been on Most Haunted. That's a well-known program as well over here.
You know, that reminds me of something that I've completely forgotten. When I was like 16 or 17, we moved into this house, and like 2 years later, we found out for sure that that somebody had committed suicide in it. And I had this really great dog, and he would just down in the basement, man, he would bark it just into a spot in the air.
Yeah.
Every time we go down there, he would just start barking at it. And I'm like, what in the hell are you looking at, dog? You know, I mean, it was nothing. It was literally not, I couldn't see anything. But, you know, then we found out, you know, somebody had committed suicide in there, you know, and, you know, we always like, ooh, you know, so, you know, in retrospect, you know, maybe there was something there, you know, it's like that just, you know, when you said that, I forgot all about that. Wow.
Bear was in the bathroom brushing his teeth, and he thought that I was in the bathroom with him cupping his backside, and
Oh yeah,
nobody was there.
oh, you got a horny ghost up there, man.
Yeah, we've definitely got a bit of a touchy-feely ghost.
I'm sorry, you know, I just I'm imagining the look on his face.
He come down the stairs. I know, like,
Go to bed.
they all take the mick out of him for being white, but he come down that day white.
I bet.
Bed.
There's a bit of maker there. Yeah, I know. Go to bed. Go on. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go on. Go on. Mummy's streaming.
Bed. Out.
Children.
Bed.
Hey, you know, they're awesome. Yeah. You know, my wife and I, we decided, you know, when we got married, we weren't going to have any. And it's like, you know, when Bear asked me the other day, I did a video, as a matter of fact, about this. You know, it's, I started thinking about, because he asked me, he said, why am I doing, you know, why did I decide to do videos on YouTube? And I was like, I couldn't answer, you know, I mean, you know, it's like I'm into, you know, entertainment and current events and stuff. And, you know, even, you know, things like, you know, what we're talking about. And I couldn't answer the question, you know, clearly. And then I thought about it, you know, it's like we didn't have kids, and like, this is my only way, I guess, that I can leave, you know, an impression on humanity, or, you know, whatever, you know, to, you know, just kind of exist digitally.
Yeah.
You know, so
I
was
didn't
just
really
thinking
want
about that.
kids at first. I was going to stick to my horses and that was it. But then, yeah.
Yeah. You're doing great.
Oh.
I love your the drawing, the vanilla bear.
If someone did that for Bear, and then
that's excellent.
that sums me up. Well, with the paranormal, I've been to a spiritual church as well.
Oh yeah, what was that like?
The first time I ever went, it felt like, you know, because like you have to do a prayer at the beginning, you know, to bring them through, and then you do a song, and then they do the readings.
Mm-hmm.
But while we were doing the prayer, it felt like someone was strangling me. Because you've got your 5 chakrams, and there's all different colours for your chakrams. And I kept seeing the colour blue.
Right.
Which is the blue in the background of my picture. And it took a while for it to go. And then no one come through for me. And then I thought, oh, I'll try what this healing's like. Because you can have healing done. But it's not good for these that, you know, are on heart tablets. You still got to take your medication. But I had it done on my knees because I've got arthritis in my knees.
Right.
And at first I was laughing because, you know, because it's nerves. And you have someone that's in front of you with the hands hovering over your knees, and then you've got someone stood behind you with the hands round your shoulders. And you can feel the energy going in. It's like someone electrocuting you type thing, you know, like a shock.
Oh, wow.
And that's how it felt. And it was the run up to doing my GCSEs as well when I had it done. And I'd done a lot better than what I thought because my head was clear. I wasn't in any pain.
Awesome.
And
so did it stick?
It stays for a while. I think like every 6 weeks to have it done. I only had it done the once, but it cleared my head. I was out of pain and I didn't even have any worries. I didn't even stress doing my GCSEs.
Oh wow, that's wild. Yeah, I deal with chronic pain, you know, and right now I have to, you know, take medicine for it, and that's, you know, that's the only way I can deal with it. You know, I've tried other kind of stuff, so that's interesting. Look into that. Have you ever had any experience with any of the Chinese stuff?
No, that one I've not done. Right.
So it's like I talked about my grandmother. I talked about grandmother. Let's see. I see. Am I forgetting something that we talked about? I told you I would forget.
I've got brain like that.
I'm bad as monkey, man.
But it's been other experiences. You know, I've been, you know, if someone comes through, I've started drawing the actual person. It happened while I was out at a friend's house and drinking.
That's interesting. I've done that too. You know, I have a degree in art, and I'll sit there and I'll draw stuff out of my head and stuff, and I will meet that person. I've done that 4 or 5 times. That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought I didn't think anybody else that would happen to anybody else, man. That is wild.
It's crazy. I've described the person now. You know, they say, can you pick anything up? It was like the first, I was on my 2nd week of nights at work, and he said, right, a few residents have mentioned about this child being here. We'll take you up to the area. We're not going to tell you what they've described. We want to see if you can pick up on it. So I was like, yeah, okay. So I went up the stairs, went on the landing, and I described the child of what she was wearing and how she had her hair, because it's what the resident said.
Right.
She had pigtails with brown hair. She was wearing a dress with like a pinny with it, but it was below the knee, the length.
Okay.
And they were like, oh my God.
Wow.
And I've picked up on a few names. If they've showed me a picture, they've not told me that that person's deceased until after. And I've said the name and that, you know, they've been watching.
That's crazy, man.
Oh,
maybe you ought to do readings. Have you ever thought about that?
You can go to a school to practice mediumship.
Yeah, I think you could read up on it. I mean, you know, I don't think there's really any way to graduate. I don't think all these, you know, mediums and stuff are all, you know, have certification or anything. You know, I mean, you know, it's like, it sounds like you've got some kind of ability or some talent there. You know, it's might as well make money off of it. That's what I say.
No. Another experience I had, I was pregnant with my youngest, and the looks that I got off my family, because I went to see my mother, and we were all outside, but she left the front door open, and in line with the front door is a sofa at the time, and I looked at Bear, but as I'm looking at Bear, I'm counting to make sure everyone was like with me, but I looked at Bear, looked at my mum, looked at my eldest son, and I pointed at me and I went, who the hell's that on your sofa? And they were like, there's nobody there. And I went, someone is sat on your sofa.
Wow. What did they say?
My mum got all the photos out of who it could be, and I pointed her uncle out that has died.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. How did she react when you said that?
She just stood there gobsmacked and went, oh my God.
Was that like her brother?
No, it was her mother's brother.
Gotcha.
But that was quite scary, that one, because I knew we had like a few like health problems before he died. But how I saw him was how he looked in the picture.
Really?
And I've never seen the picture.
That's crazy. That's great. You know, you would think that maybe if, you know, if people were existing in some kind of form, you know, after, you know, something. You ever see The Shining?
Shining.
Yeah, The Shining.
What happens in it? Because I've seen so many films.
It's like, you know, Jack Nicholson and his family. They go. He keeps this giant hotel during the winter, and it's haunted, and he gets possessed. And he tries to kill his wife and his kid. His kid's got some kind of psychic power. And the ghosts in the house, they all want, you know, I think they want the kid, you know, for his ability. Yeah, that just reminded me of that.
And I don't think I have.
Yeah, that's a pretty famous movie here in the United States. It was done by Stanley Kubrick. Has Bear seen it?
Have you seen The Shining? Yeah.
Jack Nicholson? Yeah.
His dad made him watch it when he was a kid. That's nice of your dad.
His dad sounds like my dad. We used to go to the horror movies. we used to go to this thing called a drive-in, where you would go and park your car, and there was this huge, movie screen, and they would show movies, and you could watch it in your car, and eat popcorn and stuff. It was there's a couple that they brought back, not far from where I live, but I have a feeling that they may come back because I don't know, things tend to go in cycles and stuff. But did y'all ever have those in the UK?
No, we're not that posh.
What?
I said we're not that posh to have a drive-through.
It's not posh to have a drive-through.
Oh, it is.
It's fine.
No, it wasn't. It was that was where, like, the people that didn't have the money to go into the regular theater, you'd pack up a car, full of people, and you'd pay like $4 a carload, and so you'd put as many people as you could get in the car, and
Have some in the boot, have some in the bonnet. Yeah.
Yeah, they charge you by the carload. It's hilarious. It was.
Yeah, we didn't have anything like that.
From here, the weather was shit.
I'm showing the age because I remember going to the cinema when I was a child and paying £1.
Do they have the theaters where they serve beer and shit, like booze and stuff? Those are kind of a thing here right now. Get drunk and watch a movie. I don't know.
I don't know because I haven't been to one. The last time I went to the cinema, I watched the first Captain America, and I was like, I've wasted my money.
Oh, really? You didn't like it?
No.
Hey.
But I prefer the second one.
Oh yeah, Winter Soldier is a great movie. It is. Well, we get a bit off subject, and I apologize for that. But I was thinking of I made a list of some movies that dealt with paranormal stuff. That Conjuring 2, that's based on a true story about this house in England in the 70s.
Yeah, I've watched that. They've done a ghost hunt at that house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that the one you went to?
Oh no, I went to Hightown Hall, which is in Manchester.
Oh wow, okay.
But in Most Haunted, have done ghost hunt there, and Yvette Fielding's husband had a kitchen knife thrown at him.
Oh wow. Yeah, they said that things were getting like flung at them and stuff in the movie. It was crazy.
The ones I've seen that are paranormal is Paranormal Activity.
Oh yeah, classic.
The Mark one, is it?
Oh yeah, that was like, is that the fourth one?
I think
The fifth one.
fifth one.
Oh yeah, with the guy like ends up at the house with the women and shit. That was a crazy movie. Yeah, that was really good actually. I'm a big horror movie freak. Let's see, I got a list. I got The Others. Have you ever seen that with Nicole Kidman?
I watched that and I didn't really think much of it.
Yeah, it was kind of like a play on The Sixth Sense kind of thing, where you think the ghosts are, or they're not really the ghosts. They're the ghosts are the people that you think are not ghosts.
Yeah.
It's a Poltergeist, of course. That's an old classic.
Don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, that's a Steven Spielberg movie from the 80s. That's a Devil's Backbone. This is a Spanish movie that's excellent, and it's one of the best ghost stories I've ever seen. Guillermo del Toro, the actor that did, let's see, I'm trying to think of the most, he did Pacific Rim. Did you see that with the big robots fighting the giant? Yeah,
I watched that because Charlie Hunnam's in it. Anything with Hunnam, I watch it.
Okay. the Sons of Anarchy fan and stuff.
Oh yes, and I can't believe I missed the Comic Con beginning of the year.
Yeah, was he there?
No, they had what was his name? There.
You can't call me Alex.
What was his name?
Who?
It was in the one that they battered in the jail.
Oh,
Not OP.
OP.
The one that
OP. Ryan Hurst. Yeah. He was doing a show that just got canceled called Outsiders, man. That was a great show. Sassy Shelley says, hey.
Yeah. Hi, Sassy Shelley. What else could you see?
Of course, there's The Ring, classic Japanese ghost story. Insidious, Blair Witch.
Blair Witch. Oh my God, I didn't sleep for a week on the first one.
Yeah, that was an excellent movie.
Because I've never watched anything that's like done, with video before. So it's like the second person.
Yeah, that found footage thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it messed with my head. I had to sleep with the light on.
Yeah, see, in the way that they marketed was genius. Here, they started off with just that little stick thing, and those were all hanging in the theater, and we're like, "What is this?" And then it disappeared, and then they gave us a website, and it had all this stuff about these found videotapes and stuff, and that these people disappeared, and so it's like they pulled it off to where it was almost like a lot of people actually believed it was real. And then when we saw it in the theater, it was like, oh my God, this is great.
It absolutely scared the pants out of me. I was even looking in trees and looking for them little things they made.
Yeah, exactly.
Once it crossed each other, I pegged it past the tree.
Yeah, and that's like really old school. That goes back to paganism. Those doll shapes. That goes back to the island.
That's like the voodoo dolls, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that voodoo kind of stems off from it. Voodoo is like a combination of some of the paganistic stuff from the UK combined with Christianity and then African stuff. And that's real prevalent, not far from where it's actually far, but it's not. I've been there to New Orleans. That's kind of like one of the central, and then there's a offshoot of that called Santeria, which is kind of a more of a Latin flavor, which is real big in Miami and southern Florida, and they are very serious about that stuff. They kill chickens and stuff, man. It's very.
It must be as well, because I know it's going off topic a little bit, but have you seen The Princess and the Frog?
No.
It's a Disney film, and they're in New Orleans, and it's got the black magic in it.
Oh, really?
So I think what you said then, it reminded me of The Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, that would be, they're probably practicing voodoo, for sure, because that's there's voodoo, and then there's hoodoo and Santeria, and I can't remember what the third one is, but people get pretty serious about it in certain parts. There's a lot of superstition about that, especially like chicken feet and stuff. People are like really funny about chickens around here.
I don't even like the look of them, so one of them won't even be in my house.
Yeah, it's like I like eating chickens.
Eating chicken, but not having.
Very tasty. Very tasty. So is there anybody in the chat, anybody got anything, any supernatural topics they want to talk about?
When one of the residents have died at work, we have the fire door that goes off, and I was debating whether to go and pay my respects to this resident, and it was that day I was thinking, do I go or don't I go? And my friend wanted me to go, so I went with her. But before it happened, the fire door kept going off. It went off about 12 times, and I stood by the front door and I said this person's name. If that's you, will you leave the bloody door alone? I will come and pay my respects. The door stopped.
Wow. Yeah, what were you talking about, the letter? Tell everybody about that. That was interesting. I thought that was interesting.
What with the Ouija board, and I got the letter.
No, the letter from the Queen.
Oh, when they hit 100,
Right.
and they get a telegram from the Queen, to congratulate them that they've hit 100. And we always laugh, say, like, because they've got the telegram off the Queen, they're gonna go, and they go back a month after. Or it's like, oh, it's only a bit of paper.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool because, we have been talking about, sometimes it seems like, people are, they actually wait for something to happen outside of the, their situation before they let go and die.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Her Majesty. You have a telegram from Her Majesty.
Yes. One will have to be posh for all the 5 minutes.
That's right. Stand proper.
Have tea and crumpets.
That's right. Well, your hubby, he served the Queen, didn't he?
Yeah, for 5 years.
He served at her leisure on Her Majesty's Navy, the Royal Navy.
For nothing.
Well, one of the greatest. That's the greatest Navy that ever existed. I have to give y'all credit on that, man. People ragging on the UK, but when it came to the Navy, you guys had it. Still do. I still think your Navy's awesome.
Yeah, but your Navy's got the better fitness gear.
The best fitness gear?
Yeah. These just have poxy treadmills trying to run in the rough sea on it, and then you lot have got your big.
Depends if you're on a carrier.
Like weight balls and everything.
Oh wow! That new carrier is going to have all that magnetic stuff, the magnetic catapults and stuff. That's going to be incredible. They're going to be fixing them with rail guns pretty soon too. Sorry, I got off topic there, but that was for Bear.
My family over in America. He just wants to go to the shooting range just so he could have a go at the guns again.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, we got some time here. Anybody in the stream, in the chat, anybody got anything they want to say? Looks like Eldred said hey to you, Vanilla.
Yeah, I've done a message.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
But Bear wants to go to Pendle Hill. It's a little cottage in the middle of nowhere where 5 witches were summoned to their deaths because they were practicing and they were evil.
What's the name of it?
Pendle Hill.
Is that in the United States?
It's in England.
Okay. Yeah, there's one in the United States too. That's interesting, but it doesn't have anything to do with witches. So that was like during the Cromwell's days? Was that during the Cromwell?
I'm not sure. I'm just. No.
Yeah, they like to go hunting witches.
It was haunted there as well. There was a few.
You kind of robot-y there. What was that?
It was haunted in Lancashire.
Okay. Sounds fun.
It was 1612 when they burned the 5 witches.
What year?
1612.
1612. Okay, yeah, that was. Let me look up Cromwell. Yeah, see, I grew up on those. Yeah, he would have been too young for that. So that was just before his, before he did his thing. I grew up on like all those Hammer films, Hammer and Amicus, British horror films from the 60s. Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing and just I don't know. Those are really old stuff.
There is a film that was Ghost Ship.
Oh yeah.
I laughed at that. My brother said, "Oh, you're not gonna like it," at the beginning bit. I was screaming with laughter.
Yeah, it's kind of a. I don't know. Some movies are just fun, man. You know, because they're kind of like okay.
Like the 13th Ghost, I love that. I laughed at that.
That was so weird, man, because he had that weird house, and it was like, what? I didn't understand that part.
No.
There's an old black and white movie called 13 Ghosts, which is a little. Actually, the story's better, but the filming is a lot shittier. You know.
Yeah.
It's like quality versus quantity. I don't know. It's. I don't know. I like a good story.
I just remembered another one, and I've forgotten the name of it, but I thought that was really good. That film that we watched, that go into that mental home, Grave Encounters.
Oh yeah. Oh, have y'all seen the Story of Echoes? That reminds me of the Story of Echoes too. Kevin Bacon, in Grave Encounters.
No.
Grave Encounters.
Grave Encounters. I thought the first one was. It was crazy. I loved it.
Oh wow! Yeah. With those creepy faces and stuff, man.
Yeah.
In the night vision.
Yeah, they're at that. They're in that mental institute.
Yes. Oh yeah, and it's like a they can't get out. It's like it keeps going and going and going, and they can't get out. That was crazy. And then you end up at a spot where you end up getting lobotomized. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a great movie.
You see it on the video camera, and then when you move it down, there's nothing there.
Oh, dude, that was a great movie. I forgot all about that one, man. That's excellent. That first one was just like, what the? Well, it got weirder. And there was this one where they went to this place in Russia. that's a movie you've got to see if you like that, where it's like they go to this place where all these people died and disappeared and stuff, and it ends up having something to do with this Russian experiment during the 40s and 50s, where it has to do with like making people go back in time and stuff, and it is just weird, man. I'll find out the name. What is that movie? Damn it.
There was one film we watched where they went to this like run down place and they were getting bit by like dogs, but they were infected. But then they were like, don't know whether that was.
Is it like Cujo?
I don't know.
Like a Steve. I think it's about, okay, yeah, it's about this thing, but it's a movie about it. It's called the Dyatlov Pass incident, where it was mysterious unsolved deaths of nine ski hikers from the northern Ural Mountains on February 1959. They were walking in the Ural. They were from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, which is like where you learn like engineering and stuff. And they had stuck a camp, and you know it was kind of weird because usually engineers just don't get up and go skiing nowhere where nobody goes skiing. You know what I'm saying? So it was really questionable as to the reason that they were there. And when they found them, they had all like died from they had freaked out. People had like torn each other apart and shit. And they found, all these people frozen. Said the tongue and the eyes of the females were missing. And it concluded that, quote, an unknown compelling force had caused the deaths. And this was during Stalin's time. So it was unsolved, and Stalin didn't usually tolerate anything like that. So that, and there's a movie that's kind of based on people going there, and when they go there, it's just crazy. I'm gonna try to find it.
Yeah, I've not seen it.
Yeah, it's called Devil's Pass. That's it. Write it down and watch it. And if you don't like it, I will send you money. I promise. I'll send you £5.
I'll go on
Queen's Tender.
Yeah, I'll look for that on Cody. Shh. Actually, I'll look for it on YouTube.
We don't advocate anything like illegal downloading of any kind of movies or anything.
No, good. I don't do that.
Nor do we advocate it.
No, just try and watch it for free. And somebody else's electric.
Oh.
But there is a few rubbish, like paranormal films out, and I'm like, I'll watch like 5 minutes of it and then turn it off.
Yeah. I usually, my test is I usually give it 20 minutes. And if it's a long movie, I'll give it 30 minutes. And usually that's the 20-minute mark is where the hook is. Like in Alien, that's when the thing busts out of the guy's chest. And it's usually that point. If I'm not invested in it, then I'll turn it off. I get sometimes the 5-minute thing will cheat me. I've tried that before, and I've missed out on actually good movies. So that's just that's the way I do things. And I love good movies. That's probably. I wish I could do like music review. I like music too, but I don't think there's a way I could do that and play music on YouTube without getting pegged for some kind of copyright thing. Hey Anthony, Liverpool fan.
That's what the Beatles are from, Liverpool.
Yeah,
Good, Wayne.
yeah.
Hi, Dad.
Bear says hi, Dad.
Is that your dad?
Bloodwing.
My internet dad.
He's his internet dad.
Oh,
Hey, Bloodwing, what's happening, man? Yeah, I do an imitation
what?
of the Liverpoolian accent now. We're called the Shoes. We could have been called the Shoes. We could have been called the Beatles. We are the Beatles. We're more popular than Jesus.
Oh God. Trying to think of any other films that I've seen. House on the Haunted Hill.
Yeah, there's two. There's the remake and then the original with Vincent Price. And both of them are pretty good. The Vincent Price one's classic.
I think it's the newer version that I've seen.
Oh, what is that movie? Oh shit, The Legend of Hell House. That is a great ghost movie. That's an old movie with Roddy McDowell in it. And if you get a chance, they did a remake of it, but the original's better. That's a great movie.
I still get time to watch them all with working and everything else. I have to be in the mood for a film.
That's right. You're my wife.
But I'm quite odd as well. If I'm sat at, watching a film in the cinema, I can feel my hand flicking like I'm going to turn it over with the TV remote.
Yeah. I don't want to watch this one.
Yeah, turn it off. It's boring me now.
Well, we are right at the hour mark, ma'am.
Yeah, I've not done bad for my first one.
It's amazing, isn't it?
You watch Something Will Happen now, talking about ghosts.
Yeah, I was trying to
Did you hear about? Because Bear did a clip, I think it was, on his channel that we watched Paranormal Activity 2, because we watched the first one in the daytime and we were like, yeah, that's fine. Oh, it was the first one we watched in the daytime. And it got all romantic on me, rose petals, the bloody lot, even a glass of wine with a cold bath. And he was massaging, my back, my arms and my legs. And as he was about to do my arm, rub moisturizer in, the door opened and there was a shadow of an arm on the wall.
That's right.
And ever since then, not even been romantic once. Because we don't even know who it was, because my son was like KO'd in bed. So it definitely scared us.
Kind of kills the mood, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I was shaking. I need about 10 fags and a drink. But that was quite scary. Any of these want to come in the chat, the live chat?
Bloodwing says there's a ghost in his house. No joke.
I tell you what, Bloodwing, I will send him the link and he can come in.
Cool. Because I have got to take at least a break. I got to visit the loo, as they say. It'll be a quick visit, though, if you understand me.
Pushing it out.
No, I don't. Not one of those. Thank goodness. No, that would be that'd be a while. I think I'm one of the few people on YouTube that's older than Bloodwing, I think. He's gonna shut the grandkids out.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, all right, we talked about Insidious. Did you see that? There's like 3 movies now. Those were good. And then of course The Conjuring 2. We talked about that. And I recommend that Devil's Backbone too, along with that Devil's Pass. Both of them have got the word devil in them. So, it's interesting because your name always reminds me of vanilla wafers. Do y'all have those in the UK?
I don't know.
It's a cookie that's mass produced over here, and they're really good. But in the South, they make this stuff called banana pudding with it, and they take the cookies and they kind of make like it's like a crust, like a pie crust, but they just use the whole cookie, so they don't crush them up or anything. It's just all, and then it's like vanilla pudding and chopped up banana in it, and then meringue on top. It's really easy to make, but it's really, really good. Any Americans down there know about banana pudding?
No, we don't have anything like that. The only thing I think it's American is Reese's chocolate bar.
Oh yeah, Reese's peanut butter cups. Love them.
Yeah, my son likes it because he tells everyone they're his, even though it's spelled differently.
Hey, Vanilla Bear.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm alive because I was on nights last night, so I'm just about alive.
Hey, Brother Bloodwing. It's nice to meet you in person, man.
Hey, you too, Irate. How's it going?
Yeah, man. I'm in a good place today. I'm feeling good.
Feeling good.
Feeling good.
But I do need to take a brief break, okay?
All right, buddy.
I'll be right back. You two get into it.
So, what's the topic? Anything paranormal, huh?
Yeah. Any experiences or the best paranormal film?
Oh my! I've been watching horror films since I was a kid in the '60s. I got a ton of them. But no, I mentioned in the chat we do have a ghost here in our house.
Oh.
Pretty benign though. She just young lady just kind of appears now and again.
Is it certain times of the year?
We haven't seen her for a while because I had to have a talk with her because she kept opening the bathroom door on me while I was taking a shower. And I've got grandkids that live here, and that's not something they need to see.
I've always been told that they don't interrupt you while you're, having that intimate or having a good poo.
Yeah, well, it just kept happening, She kept opening the bathroom door on me, so I finally had to talk. I said, look, I don't care if you're here. You haven't hurt none of us. You haven't really maybe creeped us out a little, but you haven't scared us. So could you not open the door anymore?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But no, we live in a very small house. It's just a little 2-bedroom, what we would call a bungalow here in the States. And we started noticing, different ones of us started noticing her, but everybody was afraid to mention it because we didn't want to sound crazy.
Yeah.
And first time I seen her, I thought she was my granddaughter because my granddaughter at the time used to try to sneak out of the back bedroom and crawl across the floor behind the couch and sneak up on me while I was sitting in my chair. Because she knows if she did, then I would give her a box of Cheez-Its. I always kept a box of Cheez-Its nearby, so I'd give her a handful of Cheez-Its to go back to bed. So I'm sitting there, and out of the little hallway, I see someone peeking, and I said, I see you over there. What do you think you're doing? And usually if I did that, my granddaughter would giggle or something. Nothing happened. Just kept staring at me. I'm like, well, and then it was gone. And a few more times out of the corner of my eye, I'd notice it. Oh, probably a month or so later, I says, you know, I've been seeing something odd. And told everybody in the room what I'd seen. And suddenly my one daughter and my son are like, you've seen her too? Oh my gosh. We thought we were crazy. So everybody'd seen her, but nobody told the other because we didn't want to sound nuts.
It can make you sound like you're like mentally unstable if you see stuff. I've seen, you know, a few. Well, I've seen a ghost on my mum's chair.
Oh yeah.
While I was pregnant with my youngest.
Well, that was the thing. My oldest daughter was pregnant with her youngest. So this would be about 5 years ago now. And was living here at the time. And was sleeping on a futon out in the front room. And she said that the ghost or lady or whatever, spirit, whatever you want to call it, would come out and while she was pregnant and would sit on the edge of the futon and just sit there. She says, I never felt threatened. I felt more like she was protecting me.
Yeah.
And we asked around, asked if anybody's ever died here. The house we live in is, we've lived here about 14 years, and we moved in as soon as it was built. But there was a house here before that. They tore it down to the studs and built this house on top of the same foundation. So there's been a house here since almost the turn of the century. It's an old neighborhood. But as far as anybody knew, nobody's ever died here or anything. We don't have any clue who she is. Just a young lady. Just shows up when she wants to. She's never hurt nothing.
It makes you wonder what it was before even anything got built on, you know, the land.
Right. Well, I'm a firm believer. I don't know how much I believe about people coming back from the dead or anything like that, but I do believe in what they call residual haunting.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a recording. And
yeah, business.
Yeah, I don't know. She never, I mean, other than opening doors, she opens the bedroom door once in a while. She did quit opening the bathroom door when I asked her nicely, please don't do that anymore. But in case people are wondering, yes, I've checked the doors to make sure they do shut firmly. It's not because we're not shutting them well. And the doors, especially during the summertime, when the central air kicks in, they tend to blow shut, not open. So because of the vacuum, you know, but we don't know who she is or what she is or whatever, but she hasn't heard a thing. My wife just calls her my girlfriend because it's me she messes with most often.
Bear's got one. It cups his bottom.
Told her to piss off.
He thought it was me in the bathroom while he was brushing his teeth, and it wasn't. It was the ghost.
Well, he keeps telling us that he's a really sexy man, so, you know, who could blame him?
I know.
I am pretty sexy.
Hey, y'all.
No one's ever touched me. That's a good thing. It's just opening doors.
I've always, one of my, what would you call it? Guilty pleasures. I love those shows like The Ghost Hunters and
Yes.
Ghost Adventures. And although Ghost Adventures, I usually watch just more or less to laugh at them because they're such idiots. But
You know what? They remind me of them from Grave Encounters. I can't watch them.
Cringy.
there's a British TV show, and the name is escaping me right now, but it's a older.
It's haunted.
It's an older blonde lady leads the group.
Yeah, most haunted. Always screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, most haunted. Yvette Fielding.
But I've always thought I'd love, like the Ghost Hunters or somebody like that, to be able to go on a on a tour with them. They have been here in my city a couple of times, but
didn't they go in? I think it was a boat they went on, and a swimming pool they went to, or they went somewhere.
But I thought, even if you don't see anything, it'd be cool to explore the old building, or whatever, because they're always exploring old buildings and whatnot. We've certainly got a few here around where I live that would be worth looking into. There's a old insane asylum that's local, and we have a haunted bridge.
Yeah, the classic White Lady Bridge.
Yeah, it's very old. It's a railway. It's a rail bridge, is what it is. But you can drive under it. It's concrete, but you can actually get up in it and walk through it. It's through the inside of the bridge. It has like compartments in it. And they say that you get up there and you can hear people, or hear a woman scream or something. I've never heard it. I've been there, of course, but if you hear a little grunting, I'm sorry. I've got to rig my chair up. My computer chair is breaking, so I have a stack of books under it to hold it up, and they just fell down.
Oh, God.
Life of a poor redneck.
I feel you, man.
There we go. We also have one of those, I guess it's more an optical illusion than anything. We have a Gravity Hill.
Oh, wow. Those are cool.
Oh yeah, it's creepy. You ever heard of those?
Yeah.
Ever heard of those, Vanilla Bear?
Say that again.
A Gravity Hill?
No.
It's a hill here. Our local one is just out on some backcountry road. You really have to know where it is to find it. But there's a certain point on the road where you can park at what appears to be the bottom of a hill.
Right.
And you put your vehicle into neutral and sit and wait, and it'll eventually roll uphill.
Start rolling it, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. They say it's an optical illusion.
It is.
But
that's what they always told me, so that's what I believe it too. I don't know.
But it's still pretty cool.
It is cool. It is. The one that I visited is like it's part of the state park not far from where I live, and they have like you can roll a ball, and it's like the ball will start rolling one way. You'll roll it one way and then it'll start rolling back towards you. It's like it's kind of nifty.
Excuse me. But yeah, we've got that, and there's I live in Indianapolis. It's no secret. Everybody knows what city I live in. But we have an old house here that's been claimed to be haunted for decades. My parents used to go there and be scared when they were kids, called the House of Blue Lights.
Cool.
Which actually has blue lights all through the house. But
like real blue lights, or does it just do it?
No, it has blue lights, and the thing is you can see the blue lights moving through the house from the outside, from window to window.
Oh, wow. That's kind of cool. I would love to go to that old what was it? Tuberculosis asylum. What do they call that place? It's in Kentucky. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. Oh shoot. Almost all the ghost hunting groups have been there one time or another.
Right, and it's got that tunnel, you know, where they used to take the dead bodies out and shit.
Right. Oh.
Didn't you do that in one of the programs, the haunting programs? I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't that Ghost Asylum, was it? Because I know there's a program called Ghost Asylum.
Boy, the name is escaping me, but I know exactly which one you're talking about. Ghost hunters have been there at least twice.
Right. It's everybody that does anything like that has been there at least once. I
remember Ghost Hunters, Ghost Asylums went to one, and they got a metal like bucket, you know, like a bin, done a fire, and it waited for it to go down, and then it went back up again when they left the camera running, and someone actually walked across, and you could see the shadow walk across the wall.
That's not too far. I mean, being here in Indianapolis, of course, Kentucky's not too far for me.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
But, and is where I'm actually from. So I live here in Indianapolis, but I'm from Kentucky.
Oh yeah, what part?
Right dead smack in the middle.
Okay.
If you took a map of Kentucky and threw a dart right in the middle, you'd hit Lincoln and Casey County. That's where I'm from.
Yeah, so I grew up in Nashville, so it was like, you know, it was maybe 2 hours from Kentucky, from Louisville. Was it Louisville or what am I thinking of?
Well, here it's Louisville.
Louisville, correct.
Yeah, you say Louisville.
My apology. Yeah, I love Kentucky's beautiful.
Of course, you know, they have a town here that's spelled exactly like Yosemite National Park, but they pronounce it Yosemite. So, you know, what do they know?
Yosemite.
And there's Chicken Gristle Ridge, Rooster Run, Strawtown, all kinds of funny little name towns down in there.
Right, guys, I'm going to end the stream now.
Okie doke.
Yeah, because Bear's streaming in at 10, I think.
I'm streaming with the Megon for an hour, and then with Manakid on his channel.
Oh, he's going to stream with the Megon.
Oh my God.
The Dark Lord.
The Dark Lord.
Well, it was nice to speak to you both.
Well, it was nice for you to have me on.
I was waiting for him to kick off at me because I'm like taking his subs.
Sweetheart, it's been a pleasure doing this with you, and I couldn't think of a better hostess. You've been awesome. I appreciate you having me do this with you.
Yeah, my first one.
That's right, love.
Well, there you go.
We'll never forget your first one.
Maybe.
just kidding there. Bear. Love you, buddy.
All right.
All right, well, I'm going to split y'all. It's been awesome. It's nice to meet you, Blood and Wing, and I'll probably run into you later. I'm going to be doing something with a white YouTuber around in about an hour from now. We'll be starting up right at 5 Central.
Okay.
All right. See y'all later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.